revolting themselves because of what they stand for. They are above this administration. They can act and erase all of this, and we can live in the society that we've all deemed to want to live in. And I am amazed that they're just sitting back, taking orders from people who can make a difference and are choosing not to. It's really disgusting for me to even hear that little by little all our freedoms are taken away, and they are doing nothing. They are doing nothing at all. Nothing.
That was one of the reasons for my addressment of the troops. One of the things that I asked for was feedback. How many people in your unit feel such and such? What would happen if they declared martial law? Questions like that I had of the military. Would you be willing to engage a civilian? The questions came back basically in this order. It started out around 60% as far as the first question goes. How do you feel about this? Are you for freedom or what? This dealt with constitutionality, basically, which deals with the Bill of Rights and things that you're mentioning. It started out around 60%, and within 2 days, it was running between 85 and 90% who would act according to the Constitution and no other way. They also would refuse obviously illegal orders. Okay? The second part of this is that how many of you would engage civilians? 98% said there was no way. That's 98% now. And you're getting captains and colonels and generals involved in this. You got to at that percentage. Then I asked the third question, how about martial law? The result was astounding. 99% said that they would take their gear and go home at the declaration of martial law, period. Now, I intend to hold them to that. When I addressed the troops, we want to know how far it went. We got an email back from Japan the next day. It had already gone that far. So everybody in the military, be that Navy, Marines, Army, Air Force, has heard about it. They have only certain specific things that they can do. They understand posse comitatus. They also understand that they are not to engage civilians in a police capacity or policeman role. And yet they can back up a civilian contingent that cannot handle what's before them. Now, that would be primarily, under the consideration of rioting. Now, everybody's on edge, both sides. The report I got back was that they are ready to pounce at the first hint of any kind of rioting anywhere. So that's not going to be tolerated. So anybody out there in Gaga land who's got a wild hair and feels, well, I can start a riot and we can have a lot of fun with this place, you better think about that. This has been tried a couple of times and they got stomped on real quick. A whole bunch of people went to jail real quick. And one of the charges wasn't just trespassing or shoplifting. It was inciting a riot. That's a felony, if need be. So what you have to understand is this. They haven't taken their action yet, and you got to remember something. I sent this out on a Saturday. It was early in the morning. In order for it to kind of go ballistic within the military itself. Second part of this is that we got to wait till a working day, which is tomorrow, for the office people and the commanders who usually go, this is Father's Day, they're probably everybody going out to eat. You have to understand that tomorrow, Monday, should be the day, and I'm hoping to hear a call. And I'm not going to talk to a colonel. It'll either be a general, simple, 1-star, or above, if they want to talk. I've been given some names of people that are supposedly, let's see here, patriotic, constitutional. Some of the people I actually know personally and have known them for quite a while. And we fully agree on this stuff. Now, they're holding their office for a reason. They want to see this through. The plan that I mentioned a long time ago that started during the Korean War is still active. There's a few people that have this in their possession. It's a physical plan. It's real. There's been several people who have extraordinarily high security clearances and extraordinary capability of research who verified and validated my assertion that the plan not only exists, but is alive and well. So if you got the security clearance and you don't believe me, check on it. You'll find it's real. You will not find out who's holding it. That's the best kept secret. It's better. That's a better kept secret than where Obama's birth certificate went. So, just being realistic and quite honest. I don't want to jeopardize anybody, so I'm not eliciting ranks, positions, general areas, or nothing. However, I know they got my phone number. I know they know where I live. If they want to come and have a meeting, that's fine. We can work this out, I have a feeling. If these people are specifically constitutionally oriented and agree with the plan, then I have no problem with dealing with them fully and openly. I have an extraordinary amount of information that I'm not allowed to share for a variety of reasons. One is that it would jeopardize plans, which are intricate and would affect the planet. And the other is that there's the safety factor of an extraordinary number of individuals. And the original group had an objective, a mission. And from the beginning of that mission to the ending of it, they killed 14 of them. Now, the 14 that died were primarily people that had some sort of dealing on in a very basic nature. I know one lady who lost both her children. They couldn't get her. They got her kids to get to her. They're not beyond doing these things. Now, there's been a problem lately, and that is executive orders and how they work. Executive orders can be issued and honored just as an executive order by itself, standalone, only under a fully publicly declared state of emergency for the entire country. Otherwise, it has to be approved by our representatives. Until that approval, none of that stuff's real. Number two, each and every last law has one little requirement. It has to pass muster against the Constitution. So the NDAA, we can abscond with your butt as long as we feel like it don't fly. It does not have legal teeth. Number two, you heard about Obama saying, we own everything, we own your butt, we own this, you're screwed. Okay, fine. They haven't come here to see me yet. And, well, how many people are armed that they want to go fool with? How many patrols have you seen going out taking people out of their houses? You haven't. The reason you're not going to is that as soon as they started doing something like that, the phone's going to light up. And you're going to have 50, 100, 200 people in the woods as ghosties who probably are seasoned hunters wearing their cameos with hunting rifles. Now, they had a little case in Ruidoso, New Mexico, a place it was a beautiful place. They screwed some of it up, in my opinion. They put a 4-lane highway through, among other things. They should have left it alone. But the sheriff had a problem. Somebody called him and said, hey, feds are up here trying to tell us what to do. What do you mean? Well, I own this property, and they're trying to tell me I can't do this and I can't do that, and I need your help. Sheriff went up there, took a look. Well, he looked at the situation. They were trying to cut trees back where they had built cabins so that if there was a forest fire, it wouldn't burn the cabin down. Real simple stuff, nothing complicated. And the feds were saying, oh, no, you ain't cutting that tree. And there's probably, if I remember correctly, 8 or 9 of the feds. And somebody, unbeknownst to the sheriff, had called the militia. Now, what's funny is that the sheriff got told that the militia was there. Somebody kind of peeked out from a tree and tipped their hat. And the sheriff said, well, you got a choice. You mess with that person, you go to jail. Or you can leave. Your choice. And the sheriff and his deputies, there's like, I think altogether 5 of them. And there's like 8 or 9 feds. And of course, they got their mini machine guns and all this happy whatever riot gear on, you know, look like some kind of space cadet. Well, there's more of us than there are of you, and they spanned out a little bit. And about that time, he said, well, the problem is that the population around here disagrees with your presence here altogether. And he held his hand up, and some 100 and some trees suddenly grew high-powered hunting rifle barrels. The sheriff said, are you sure you want to try to enforce what you're talking about? And the guy's looking around. He's getting whiter as he looks around because he keeps seeing more and more. And he's going, I think we need to go have lunch somewhere else. They've not been back. Now, this is a direct confrontation between the local population, known as the militia, backing up the local sheriff. These fun and games people who think it's cute to raid farms need to experience the same treatment.
Okay.
Okay. You know what, Jean? I'm sorry. JB, I'm sorry. I've got to go on. We have 15 minutes. There are 2 other people.
Very critical about this constitutional issue coming up. Just one more, please. Please. In the advent of shutting down the bank strike, with the hopefully implementation of lawful money, asset-backed, silver-backed treasury notes, will all the foreclosures cease and desist, and will the unlawfully arrested, of which I'm particularly interested in, as well as those that are foreclosed on, I'd like to see these homes go back to the people. And right now, there is a huge sale to investors on the millions of property. I just got an article, and I am, like, freaking out. And so hopefully we can stop this, where they're going to sell all these properties to HUD, all the financial investors. So they don't care about what is happening to the people. And I thought
hold on a minute. Maybe these people Maybe these people like to go to jail for fraud. Okay, what I'm trying to tell you is this. You're talking about extreme, extraordinary changes in what you're familiar with, and the BS that's been going on is going to be flushed.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you, JB.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much, Jay.
Perfect question. All right. We have like 15 minutes, so I have 2 more people that are in the queue. LG is next, so I'm going to try to give equal time here, and here you go. LG.
Okay, hi. I'll be very brief with my question. First, I do want to say that it is an honor, Drake, to be able to communicate and interact with you even this way, and you're a true inspiration to those of us in my family who are no longer asleep. But my question is, I watched the video on your website, and I'm pretty sure what the woman said at this one point was that once the bad ETs are extinguished, we will no longer remember that they existed. Is that correct? And
yes.
And if so, can you explain in detail, if possible, what that means?
No, I'm not going to get into great detail because it would take approximately a dissertation equal to a textbook in order to give somebody who does not know about such things a working knowledge.
Okay.
Suffice it to say that you right now and everybody out there has what's called a veil of forgetfulness over them, meaning that you do not remember what you used to be. Okay, meaning that you cannot see past the realm, third dimensional that we're in, into the fourth and fifth and sixth dimensions. Okay, until you learn how to do so, you will not be able to partake of that part of it. Now, the other part is that whenever something on a spiritual level is attended to, those who are affected by it